everybody. Hey, everybody. I stepped away a little, but we are here now. So good evening, good morning, good night. Wherever you are in the world, this is Live with Mama Coco. And I am Mama Coco, and I am Cora Pantin. That's my name, and this is Live with Mama Coco. This evening, I am so happy. There's a special elation that I am going to exhume, that I am feeling right now, that we are blessed to have one of Tobago's not spoken about much, yet he's very public, and he is a talented man coming out of Belle Garden, Tobago, Zion Hill to be exact. Our brother Anthony James, it's a pleasure to have him here this evening, and I know that we are gathered here in numbers because he himself, he is a popular announcer, an electrician, and an electoral inspector also. The brother is multi-talented. He's a father, a husband. He didn't tell me that I see wearing a ring, and I know how much the James family, they grew up very religious, and not only religious, they are fundamentally, all of them, correct. Politically correct also. There's one of the candidates that ran under PDP is his brother. He's also the brother of our brother Winford James. He taught me in high school, Winford, yes. And his brother Max James, a lot of us know Max, yes. And he has his sisters that I used to be acquainted with a lot, but you know, as time changes and we move away, they move away. My dear friend Brenda James and Janice, and his sister Mrs. Morris, who lives there in Betty's Hope, Tobago. Yes. So join me, brothers and sisters, as we bring a local, as we bring a talented. This is what Mama Coco show is all about. And I'm excited. And it's a pleasure for me to welcome Brother Anthony James.
Thank you, Cora. Can I call you Cora? That's I grew up calling
Mama
you
Coco, Mama Coco.
Oh, Mama Coco.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so it's a pleasure to be here. And once you call on me, I can't deny you. But I remember as a young boy, you coming home by us.
Yes. Yes.
You mentioned Brenda and Janice. I actually thought it was Ruby who was your friend.
Yes.
Was it not Ruby? I thought it was
Ruby. Oh my God! That's what I'm saying. I wonder if it was somebody else.
Yeah,
Ruby.
Yes. As far as I remember, it was Ruby.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes, I remember you coming by us, and of course, knew you there in a guy that came and inspected by you. Well, you were there, if you remember.
Yes, and we had
I still remember.
And you almost didn't inspect my place. You went into politics.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my passion, really. Yeah?
That's your passion.
Yeah, the politics beyond anything else is my passion, and it's not politics, perhaps in the traditional way, but it's politics from a perspective of justice.
Yes.
Because I'm a Tobagonian, and I'm very, very proud Tobagonian. I will be able to the end. And we know our history, which informs our context.
Take a look at me.
Yes.
We also forget Jason.
Well, Jason was your pal also.
My pal.
You know what I really remember that you were really close with.
Yes.
At the time,
yes.
As a boy there, it was Ruby.
Ruby.
Yeah, Ruby. And as a matter of fact, I think in terms of personality, you and Ruby bear certain
yes.
You know, I mean, none of my other sisters are loving, you know, but Ruby is my warm, very loving sister. And
So we're gonna get ready to speak of that. First,
yeah.
we want to tell the people that our brother is also a musician. Yes.
Well,
Hold on. You ain't gonna talk now. It is time for action.
yes, no
And
problem.
he's gonna bless us. He's gonna bless us with some music right now. So welcome, Brother James.
I think, thank you again. I think it's fitting that we play a song that can really set the trend for tonight's discussion and allow, you know, God to have his way. So the song is so entitled, Have Thy Own Way. I will attempt to sing a verse of it.
Yes, please do.
Have thine own way, Lord.
Hallelujah.
Have thine own way. Thou art the potter,
Hallelujah.
and I am the clay. Mold me and make me after thy will.
Father.
Ye did I still that's the first verse.
Hallelujah. Thank you, because it was just minutes ago I asked you,
Yeah.
one of the James, I remember one of you guys, well, more than one of you, you guys used to play instruments. And I know this little boy that used to always sit there with a guitar playing. And you said, that's me.
Yeah, but Jason is really the king.
Well, Jason is the king.
Well, there's no doubt.
Jason used to play with the bands and at Caribana and that's a boy, yes. He's the one that liberated first.
Yeah, he's
listen to
me. As far as conventional guitar is concerned, some people might be shocked at this, but trust me, I don't conventional guitar. Jason is about one of the best in the world, was the best in the world, trust me.
Man,
he has perfect pitch. When Jason, after he had married and left home, when he used to visit, he used to stay, when he comes back, I would be up in the porch and he'd be down by the mango tree. And every chord or note I play, he not seen the guitar, but he would tell me exactly which chord I play, which key I am, and which note to hit. He was that gifted. He's a gift that he got from God, actually.
Yes, I just remember him, and I said to myself, I miss out on my boy.
Yeah, Jason.
Jason. So may his soul continue to rest in eternal peace as we get ready to move on onto our show. First, I want to thank you for your rendition. It's quite fitting and befitting.
Yes.
So to God be the glory now.
All the time.
And we are going to expound on what he has placed in our heart to speak about. So Anthony James, tell us about yourself. You have 3 minutes to go into your topics. Like this one, because tell us about yourself. Who are you and where are you from? I already did some of your introduction, but you have to state now who you are.
Yeah, quickly, I am the 12th of 13 children. Mom and
30.
Dad. Yeah, my dad has other children. That's you know what I mean? And I would like to acknowledge also my dear sister, Camilla James. That is child.
Daughter.
Yeah, I know Daddy has more children, right? But Camilla was known amongst us, and she often and so on. But Mom and Dad, 13 children, and I am the second to last. You mentioned that one of the candidates for the PDP, he went up in Scarborough Color Hall.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my brother, Trevor James.
He's the last one?
He's the last one, and I am the second to last. So I have gone to the Belle Garden Primary School, and also Roxwood Secondary. Would have represented Roxwood Secondary in cricket and football. I wasn't really any great footballer in school, really. My forte was really cricket.
Cricket, yes.
I have a tremendous understanding of the game. Excellent batsman and a top class leg spinner at the same time. And I also
so that's why you have one of your shoulders always ready to throw a ball.
Yes, yeah. Actually, sometimes when the batting was kind of nervous experience, you always find yourself pulling your
clothes.
Yeah. But if you watch cricket, you will observe that the batsmen normally
straight.
They always looking to straighten up that and so on. So I also played volleyball. I represented school in actually cricket, football, and also athletics. Actually, did lawn tennis. I was very good at volleyball, but there was no volleyball team in school.
Yeah,
I was good in actually. And after school, I went into. I always had a fascination for things electrical. So I did a course in electricity and electronics with. Like that's my correspondence, Aviron Technical Institute.
We have that question coming up. Just tell us about your family, your school. So you went to Belle Garden Anglican School or Morgan?
No, Belle Garden.
And you guys were a special kind of Adventist, those that go to church all day. Tell us what Adventist you are.
Well, we were never. I think Mommy attended Adventist in some time earlier before I would have known. That might have been before she perhaps got married to Daddy. But in my home itself, we were always Church of God. What you call Church of God 7th day.
Yes.
The doctrine is I would say significantly different from Adventists, except that they all kept the Sabbath.
Yes.
Kept the Sabbath. I have since as I have grown, I have moved away from that because the Spirit had led me in a different direction. My understanding, I would say, has grown in terms of my understanding of Scripture, and so where I am at this point in time, I don't see the Sabbath day was carried over into the new covenant. That's old covenant teaching. That covenant was made with the children of Israel. That covenant was not made with the church of God, and it's not.
Well, we're not gonna go church tonight.
Yes, of course.
You will be back. Yes. So I met your mother. Mm-hmm. I used to go up there and sit and wait until the girls come home, and I used to walk Belle Garden. Mm-hmm. And my daughter, I will fix my daughter. She used to go Belle Garden School. Okay. And one of the most wonderful women, I don't know if I ever tell you that, that I have ever met in this world. Yeah, it was your mom. I've never seen a human being that could smile and make you smile even if you don't want to smile.
Yeah. She was really
Tell us about your mom. Tell us a little bit about your mom. Let us tell us about his mom.
Well, well, to anyone who
look up in the camera, keep your head up high.
Yeah, well, to anyone who asks, your mom, I refer to her as the best mother after the mother of Jesus Christ. And I actually told her before she died that if I was to born again, I would want her to be my mother.
Again?
Yeah. Because she was so. So when I said that to her, she said true.
Yeah, she's so sweet. Because, those dimples, my God.
Yeah, she was really, she's sweet. Not to I mean, a sweet, loving woman. When she died, I didn't eat for 7 days actually. For 7 days, what? I did not eat for 7 days.
Oh.
And on the third day or so, I went into Royal Castle to eat because I remember that I didn't eat. It was me and Punchin, you know Punchin, that's my partner.
Yeah, my boy.
Yeah, so he was there with me, and also Charlo, we call him Cho from Zanil. Those are two good friends of mine, so they were actually, they carried me through that period. And we went down to shop and we went into Royal Casino to eat. And I took the chicken and placed it in my mouth. And I realized I had no appetite for it. And I put it down back. I didn't eat it.
Still didn't eat?
Yeah, no. Immediately Bob Marley's song came to me. My belly full, but me hungry.
But me hungry.
Yeah, that song came back to me. Belly full, but me hungry. But I couldn't eat it. You know, but she's the sweetest mom, truly. Truly. She lived for her children after daddy died. She lived
Yes.
for her children. And she wanted to see everybody came out.
Do good.
Yeah. And essentially that's what took place. Everybody came out good and could have handled themselves, you know. Yeah.
I used to be in that house. I would sit there. And I want to tell people, because I know I'm a woman of food. She was a great cook. That stew fish with that stew peas with the fish in it, the fried fish. I can still taste it.
But as I told you the last time too, I remember you are a sweet woman yourself.
Oh, thank you so much.
You not know that. I mean, deep inside, the real you are sweet soul. And that's why I admired you over the years and got along well with you. And so that's my memory and my feeling of you. So that when you call on me, it's virtually impossible for me to deny this. And of course, the opportunity is there so that we can educate our nativity.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Because I remember the day when you came at the house, I don't think you knew I was there. And when you saw me, you started to jump up and say, God bless my eyes. And you start, and I said to myself, I remember this little boy. I remember he was a little boy. So may God continue to keep us in perfect peace, keep us in harmony. As we get our next question going, Ari and John is saying something first. We have to interact this evening.
No problem.
Ari and Johnny said, good night, Mama Coco. And to you,
Mr. on the show, Mr. on your show.
Mr. on the show.
Yeah.
Yes. She's saying, welcome, brother.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
So, Mr. James, tell us about your early years in school, and when did you first realize that you had a career interest in electronics and electrical installations?
Well, I would have started out school in 1975 at the Belle Garden Primary School.
The Belle Garden Anglicans claim it.
Anglican school. And as you know, we didn't have electricity at that time.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't have electricity at that time, because I remember one time I was studying and I had a candle, the current went.
Yes.
I was studying with a candle, and the current came back and I was not aware. And one of my bigger siblings take off the candle, blow out the candle. And I was annoyed, not even realizing the current actually came back. But we didn't have current at the time. And then so when we got current, the guy who wired the house, I think it was William John.
Yes.
The hall there, I think it was William. And I remember when the inspector came. And in fact, when I came of age, I actually interacted with the same inspector. That was a guy, Graves, Mr. Graves.
Oh, Mr. Graves, yes.
Yeah, I remember them saying this guy has assisted him with the inspection and covered him. Robert Allen from Mount St. George.
Yes.
And they had the test instrument. It's called an insulation resistance tester. But as I grew old, I discovered that. But they were saying, zero clear, zero clear. You know what I mean? So that's the test you're carrying out. So there are certain tests you must get zero, and certain tests that it must ring clear. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, certain tests. You know what I mean? But most of the tests must ring clear. So that which means the insulation is
well done.
Yes. It's free. No unwanted wires.
Yes.
Other and so on to cause any potential hazard.
So can you tell the people what the name of the instrument again that does that?
Well, it's an insulation resistance tester. The the most popular brand was really the Mega, but there are different brands now. The Fluke is quite a good brand now. You know, we used to actually call the instrument Mega, but the name of the instrument is not a Mega. It's really insulation resistant testing. But because Mega, the brand Mega was the popular brand,
yes, the trademark.
Yeah, we call it Mega. So it would have been somewhere around 77, maybe somewhere around there. My interest would have peaked when the house was wired and when the inspector came. I would have looked at them, and something would have stirred in me at that point in time.
So when you looked at him at that age, were you curious to learn the name of the instrument or to touch it?
Well, perhaps I was, but I didn't really touch it or ask to touch it.
Ask about it.
But I was looking at them.
Because they will take that instrument into the meter and into the box.
Yes,
right?
They will start at the meter, and then they will go at the panel that you call the box.
Yes, the panel.
Yeah, the panel.
The panel box. That's what we do.
Is where all the circuits are. So you'll ring the meter, make sure everything is clear there, then you go into the panel. And in the panel now you cannot ring the entire circuitry.
So you are saying to young people now that you can know who you want to be by a workman that come to your parents' house.
Yeah, well, it actually happened.
When you see on the street.
Yeah, it actually happened. Well, when they came to the home and worked, and when the inspector came to inspect the installation, I was looking at them. And I was very fascinated by this thing, zero clear. In fact, my younger brother and I, we used to actually call, not the inspector, we used to call Robert Allen, but yeah, this was the first time tonight. We used to actually call Robert Allen zero clear.
What's the change? You change the man name?
Yeah, because we call him zero clear.
Because I took my daughter to the doctor in Belle Garden, and that was Dr. Boris.
Okay.
And it's right there. She want to touch and she gave her the stethoscope. They have it there touching and all kind of. And it's from there she will tell everybody that she was inspired by Dr. Boris.
Yeah.
And as a woman being a doctor, she never had interaction with a female doctor before.
Oh.
So right there.
Yeah.
So she met Dr. Boris in Tobago about 3-4 years ago, and she was telling her that she was part of her name was part of when she applied to become a doctor, and they asked her who was her inspiration as a doctor, because we don't have doctors in our family there. And it was Dr. Boris, and she was so excited and, oh my God, really? I didn't know that. So she was being doctor, but she didn't know she was bringing up a doctor in training.
Yeah. That's in McDonald.
Yes, Dr. McDonald, Ellis Boris's wife.
Yeah.
Yes. So we are here right now. There's another question for you. We're gonna see if we can roll them up quick and fast.
Yeah.
We have the politician to speak about soon. Anthony, you have the honor of being one of Tobago's electrical inspectors. How did you get started in that profession? A lot of people see you talking up on radio and on TV, but they don't know who you are.
Actually, that was quite interesting. Because I had applied for the job early on.
Before you go further, how many of you are in Tobago right now?
The establishment has 3 of us on the establishment, but one is retired, and the other one is off the job at this point in time. So actually functioning right now, it will be me alone.
Well, you're talking as if we shouldn't give a round of applause. Brother Anthony is the main functioning electrical inspector in Tobago right now. So you service east, west, north, and south.
Well, I have to work for me and few or 4 people right now, actually. But I manage by the grace of God.
So you get paid according to how many?
No. No, you have a fixed salary at the end of the month.
But you're doing work for 3 people.
Well, 3 or 4. Because there's need no for, I would say, 4 or 5 inspectors really.
You are talking as if you don't want me to ask you these questions.
Oh, no.
Watch the camera and speak life into what you are deserving of.
Yeah.
You used to have 3 people working.
Yeah, it's me alone right now.
And now they have you alone.
Yeah. And the demand would have grown actually. Since there were 3 people in the establishment, the demand would have grown. So that's why I suggest that it will be, I'm working now for about 4 or 5 men.
So this guy Roberts that used to inspect from Mount St. George.
Now he never used to inspect.
Or he used to check meters.
Well, no, well he is an electrician. He's retired from works now.
Yes.
But when the electrical inspector, he used to accompany the electrical inspector. Yeah, because I remember him when our house was being inspected, he was there. But he was there really as an assistant to the electrical inspector, Mr. Graves.
So do you think the appropriate ministry is going to hear this and know that you are doing? So would you say that at times you could be overwhelmed, or?
Well, yeah, well, there are times when I get a little tired because of the volume of the work, you know. But in a way, by the grace of God, you know what I mean.
By the grace of God.
Grace of God.
but God take us a certain distance, and it's up to us to demand what we are sorely.
But I think the authorities are
they're looking into it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Honest question, but so tell us about the typical day in the life of an electrical inspector in Tobago. How many inspections and what does it take to pass an electrical inspection? You see, I want people to know you. I want people to know you.
Yeah.
More than just the guy that they want to criticize now.
Well,
they think you are vocal. They think you just vocal in political talks. But they don't know that you are such a blessing to Tobago.
Okay.
Like the houses that burned down in Castara one after the next. Was it electrical faults?
Well, the truth is, it is extremely remote to an electrical fire. The truth be told and understood.
Hey.
The science of electrical engineering, which electrical installation is a part of, it is so advanced. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's almost foolproof. Trust me. It is so advanced that this is why people can interact in so many houses around electricity and there's no potential harm, really.
Wow.
Because the system is self-protected. So
you are saying
those fires
you are saying that all these young boys in Tobago now that doing electrical work, they're doing a good job?
Yeah, basically, and whenever they come up short, my constitution or manner or policy is, like for instance, I don't already fail people's jobs. A former inspector in Trinidad, when I just got into the electrical inspectorate, he said, James, don't fail nobody work. So what I do, if I go on the job and there are things that are not up to standard, I indicate to them what to do. And when
my God.
I think I have an excellent relationship with the electricians and within the electrical fraternity itself, because of my ability to communicate and to reason with them. I'm not an electrical inspector with a hammer. That's my personality. I don't have that personality period. You know what I mean? I'm a passionate person, as most Tobagonians know, concerning my convictions and so on. But I'm also a very rational and very reasonable person. So I discuss the work with them.
Yes.
And to show them why this should be done as opposed to that, as the case may be.
Yes.
I've changed a lot of things actually. and they know what I expect.
Yes, my God, my God.
Conform to that, right? But to answer the earlier probing question in terms of the electrical fires, I was saying that the electrical is so self-protected that you really can't have a fire. Too many things have to fail for that to happen, because the main reason for a fire, or what causes a fire, is really short circuit.
So short circuiting of wires.
Circuit, so that the wires, or two unwanted wires clash. But if two unwanted wires clash, the circuit breakers are so
The breakers, they are so sensitive.
really, really sensitive. They will trip according to the theory. And I've experimented. I'm not just an electrician who just learned the theory. I went and tested for myself too. So sometimes I will deliberately short the wire to see the reaction. And according to the theory, the circuit will trip the breaker, the circuit breaker. And that's the meaning of the breaker. The circuit breaker will break the circuit. So it opens
and stop the flow of electricity to that area.
Right, stop the flow of electricity. So it prevents so that that will happen according to the theory, tested and proved in 0.04 seconds.
Jesus, tell them something.
And
we have classes this evening. Yes.
Of a second, that circuit will trip back. Yeah. You will have that. It's very important for the insulation to be tilted.
But then let me ask you something, because this year I know a lot of people will want to hear you speak of it. Long ago, I used to have one breaker in a house, a whole house. How many breakers you believe that you really would say one house should have?
Well, what I used to have a long time.
You have your fridge, you have your stove, you have everything.
And you hardly had fires then.
Hardly had fires then.
So and it's improved now. So what I used to have a long time were fuses.
Fuses, not breaker.
Yeah, fuses, you know what I mean? So that the fuse there, and the wire will burn out from the fuse. And the inventive people in the house will go and put back a wire behind the fuse. You know what I mean? To get the thing working again. Right? So it really is a fuse. But now you have circuit breaker, and all the for instance, you have the kitchen circuits are different from the bedrooms and living room and the laundry and so on. All those
circuits. Right. They have their own breaker now.
Yeah, so they have their own dedicated breaker supply, so to speak. You know what I mean?
So you may see the house have lights when you go to start your washing machine. The washing machine not working.
Yes, because it's on a different circuit. And apart from a different circuit, it may be on a different split phase, I would say. I say split phase because most households are supplying.
They have a splitter.
Yeah, they're supplied at a single phase, but really from the transformer coming in, the transformer has been centered up to divide it. It's really 230 volts coming in, but it's been divided into 115. So the circuits inside will be on one side of the transformer, and others will be on the other side of the transformer, fed by 115 volts.
So if something should happen and you go into a house, you could naturally say, well, how many appliances you have? You need to go up to a 220, 150 is not enough.
Well, the appliances are.
What is the highest? Because I have to let people know this too. What is the highest voltage for a house in Tobago? Because in Europe, some of them is only 100, 150.
Well, in Tobago and Trinidad, the nominal voltage is 115, 230 volts for households.
How much? 230?
Yeah, 115, 230. Right? So like appliances such as the computer that we are on here, the nominal voltage for those are 115. 115. So you have a range. The supply voltage here is 115, but the appliance may be rated at 110 or 120. It will go because you have a potential up or down. You have a range that the appliance will still go. So if the appliance is rated at 110, 115, 120, it will work as normal. The things that carry 230 will be like the cooker or the dryer,
Yes.
or the water heater. Those things 230 volts.
230 volts.
Yeah, but in normal appliance, they are rated at 115. They take 115, 110, 120. As the case may be.
There's a question here for you, sir. You're doing a marvelous job. You are going into areas so people in Tobago can know that this is our guy. So, Mr. James, how can Tobagonians and their children stay safe from risk of electrocution?
Well, the important thing is to have is to make sure that your installation is up to the standard. You know, it must have the integrity. The installation must really meet the integrity of the wiring. Apart from that, for instance, in churches and in schools where children frequent, community centers, also around the stage,
or on the playing field.
Well,
we have lights on our playing grounds.
Oh, okay. Well, but let me give you the buildings, so to speak, for areas where children are at risk. You have specific outlets for those. For the shutter type outlet, so that you can. Children have a tendency of pushing hairpins, and small objects into the outlets.
Nails.
Yeah. But with the shutter type plugs and so on, you can't. The only thing that could enter there is what we call plug.
Hey.
So a pin can't go.
A pin can't go no more.
No.
It used to go long ago.
Yeah, well, if you do that, but they develop the system, as I said, electrical is really one of the safest sciences in the world.
Hi.
Yeah, no doubt about it. One of the safest sciences in the world. So many people are afraid to become electricians. But you hardly, once you observe the rules and so on,
and regulation,
yeah, you're safer. You're safe. So as I say, it is self-protected. It's one of the fields that people don't know much about. You know what I mean? But there's no danger really. Well, I said there's no danger, but the danger only comes when you work in life. But as just before you come in here, in England and so on, and those bigger countries, you can't take the current because those are cold countries.
Yes, you can't make joke with that.
No.
Amen.
So the electricians they have to be able to work in live current. So they have their protective gear and so on, and they are well trained. In England, I must say, those guys up there, they are really well trained, and they have to work in the live current, because in those countries you can't take the current.
I always used to be saying, oh, these men hanging off them poles, and up there, what a risk. So do you think we are taking care? Do you think we are taking care from a safety point of view of our linesmen and our technicians that have to climb the pole and do all this stuff before you come before you come in to do your job?
Well, the linesman is an area that T&Tech deals with in terms of we call those guys who run the lines, who wire the streets and the villages and so on, putting lines from one pole to the other. Those are, and they will go to do maintenance. Those are linesmen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But as I know in Tobago, the guys in the supply authority, T&Tech, they don't really take any chances. Once they go to work, they're going to work there, they isolate. They just got to take off the current. I know in America and so on too, those guys up there, they work live.
They work live wire.
Yeah, they work live. They just have on the protective gear, and you know what you're doing.
And the close to suit. Yeah,
because I'm saying once you know what you're doing and you are protected, your gear is insulated.
Yes.
You can't really be shot.
Because in an ice storm, electrician goes to work.
Yeah, that's how they do it up there. You can't you could hardly afford to take the current up there. Can't really do that. So there are too much industry up there. The place is very cold, and people depending on the electricity.
Yes.
Goes up there for it puts back the economy and so many the comforts that people enjoy. The world right now is run by electricity. We are here in the 90s now.
Yes.
Where the place is lit.
So they're going to have they will have electric boats, electric ships now. They're saying about electric cars. They have it already.
Yeah.
So we can go on and on.
Yeah.
This is education night. I just want people to know about this man. This man, Mr. Anthony James, he ain't just only walk by, want to talk about, run about all your mouth. You guys don't know Mr. James. So, Mr. James, when can we expect to have Tobago's first female electrical inspector?
I would say within the span of 10 years, it can actually happen within the next 2 or 3 years. Because there's a young lady
because you have female.
Well, you have female licensed electricians operating in Tobago. Female, qualified, very qualified, and they can rank with the men. The men, I think, might be better than them practically, because the work requires some strength and so on too. So the men might be better practically. And I must say that the men
with muscles, you know, what you're talking.
Yeah, but you have let me see, you have at least 3 electricians, women, who are operating right now. Of 2 of them, I think, are licensed and so on. And one in particular is quite evil.
So what do you like to see?
The first female inspector in Trinidad and Tobago, I think, is a young lady from, I think, it's Golden Lane in Tobago, but she's working in Trinidad. So you already have.
So would you like to see her come back to Tobago?
Eh?
Would you like to see her come back to Tobago and you being a supervisor, or you working in line with her?
Well, I don't think the culture down there is different. I don't think having experienced the culture in Trinidad that she would want to come into the culture. The inspectorate in Tobago is very different from the culture of the inspectorate in Trinidad. I don't think that she would want to.
What do you mean? Can you explain a little?
I won't want to go.
You don't want to go there. Okay.
Details.
Details, I know. It's okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I like you laugh. You're laughing like your mother. Always happy. Always happy. Yes. Mr. James, can we expect? Yes. So, Mr. James, can you outline the path, meet qualifications, and years of training needed to become an electrical inspector? How much these ladies in Tobago have to do?
Well, once you qualify with the with minimum qualification, the part 2 city and guilds or the national certificate or the equivalent, and you have at least 5 years experience, you can become electrical experience. The convention has been a requirement of 5 years experience in the field, and the license, having the certificate, which is the part 2, is now called a diploma. Once you have that qualification and you have the license, you must be licensed 5 years. 5 years as a licensed woman, not just 5 years inside the field, but 5 years as
5 years. So now
you can qualify.
Here is where a technical question come in for you. How long do you think 1 or 2 of those women have before? So they have to go another 5 years, or they are within their 5 years?
The lady that I'm speaking of, actually, she has been around a good while now, so she would have reached the time frame as a licensed woman, and she has expressed interest. So I suppose when they are next interviews, I think she will be one of the candidates.
Round of applause. I love to hear that, Mr. James. I love to hear how inclusive this sound coming from your mouth.
Yeah.
And we pray the day would come before you should leave. you should be able to say, this is my partner. Yeah? And she's working Castara, Bloody Bay. Yeah, Palativere, Moriah, Runnymede. And you are in Charlottesville today. So how many villages? No. Do you wait and culminate your visits?
No,
or you just go to one village one day and come back?
Well, that's an earlier question actually. So when I have the typical day is that we'll go into the office and we'll spend about 2 hours or so because we have to prepare the jobs from the previous day for certification.
Yes.
And preparing the sheet and so on. Right? And then we'll go out on the field and perform the tasks of inspections on the field. What we have done over the years, I met a system when I was there. I adjust it now and then because of the fact that it's me alone, so I have to use a little wisdom.
Yes.
But normally, we schedule the jobs in the west, which will be from Lambo to Concord and Signal Hill to Bethel and Buku and so on. That's the western part.